It turns out that this recent election was not about healthcare, wasn't about education, wasn't about climate change, wasn't about the economy or criminal justice or immigration reform. What it really turned out to be was a question of whether or not, unbelievably, we remain a democracy. And thank God Joe Biden and democracy won the election. But we have got to ask ourselves a whole lot of questions when we think back about where we are right now. And most importantly, I think, is how do we do everything possible to make sure that we become a vibrant democracy, that we do exactly the opposite of what Trump and his authoritarian friends want to do. And clearly, some of the answers are that we have got to eliminate and end the Electoral College. Turns out that Joe Biden will end up receiving some 6 million more votes than Donald Trump. That's a lot of votes. And yet, if it weren't for a couple of 100,000 voters in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Nevada, in Arizona, Trump would have won the presidency. That does not make any sense. If we believe in one person, one vote, we cannot continue a situation where a few 100,000 votes in 5 or 6 states can determine who the next president is. Second of all, we need to get rid of this terrible Supreme Court decision on Citizens United. Hasn't been a whole lot of discussion about it recently, but the truth is that billionaires in both political parties, both parties, contributed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into the political process. And that's just not good. You're not going to end up with a government that represents the needs of ordinary people when billionaires are spending huge amounts of money to get candidates elected. So what we have got to do is continue our efforts to overturn Citizens United, and we have got to move to public funding of elections. Terribly important. Furthermore, what we learned in this election and what we saw it every day with our eyes is the incredible degree of voter suppression which exists out there. So it's not only that we have a corrupt campaign finance system exacerbated by Citizens United, but in state after state, you had leaders making it as difficult as possible for people to vote.